for the celebration of another positive step forward for the city of Norwich. I'd like to welcome all of our state level officials. We've got Matt Puglisi and Melinda Wilson from the Department of Economic and Community Development here with us. We've got Ulysses and Fiola from the Connecticut Port Authority. We've got Senator Austin and Representative Kevin Ryan, and I'm scanning, and I don't think anybody else is here. That's great. We've got a lot of city leaders and NCDC board members, community members, chamber members. Thank you all for coming out here today and being part of this great event. As you've heard me say, well, first of all, let me just say that I was able to participate in a goal-setting session soon after I took over the job at NCDC with the seated council at the time, and then a subsequent one recently with the newly seated council. And each time, it was crystal clear that this area needs to return to a place of pride and prominence for this city to help this city move forward. And this is just a step. This is one step that fits within the larger harbor management plan and harbor visioning plan for what downtown Norwich and this inner harbor can become and be. And so we're thankful for that. As you've heard me say often, this community and economic development stuff is a team effort. There are a lot of folks that bring money, influence, effort, passion, and hard work to the effort, and we'll try to bring as many of those folks to this podium here as we can this morning. But I just want to first and foremost, before we even make the mistake of missing anyone, say thank you to all of you that are here assembled, and some of those who aren't, who are actually out there driving these piles into the ground, and as I learned this morning, trying to wrench rusty bolts in to get these Lithuanian pieces of concrete to look as steady as they do out there right now. A great first step for all of us, and the parade of champions that we will commence right now begins with somebody who has a personal and professional passion for this place, a former alderman for the city of Norwich and the chairman of the Harbor Commission, Tucker Braddock. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for gathering here at Howard Brown Park. The old docks were put in about approximately 29 years ago, and they are being replaced now with some new docks. The whole idea of the docks I think when the Browns started this, the whole idea of the docks were to bring people down here so that they can boat, fish, sail, enjoy walk the docks, which is, I believe, every Wednesday night. Angie?
Starting July 10th.
Yeah, every Wednesday night. And we're encouraging that. Oh, did everyone hear what I was saying before? Good. I'll speak up. Our consultant, Jeff Stedman, who has been with the Commission for many, many years, has been very helpful to our community, and was keyed in on the SHIP grant, which is a small harbor improvement program available through the Port Authority, which is down in Saybrook, I believe. And this is allowing us to do this, as well as other towns along the Connecticut coast, to improve the coastline and any tributaries that go into it. We applied for one SHIP grant, and we are in the process of rewriting the Commission's statement of what we're going to be doing in Norwich. The company in Mystic Darko and Keith Nielsen was very helpful at the very beginning as kind of a guide as to what had to happen here and how it was going to go along. The scope of work was done by Race in Stamford, Connecticut, and Azure D. Sletcher, helped with many decisions, and the RFP went out, and there was a response to the RFP, and there were two that did respond, and the marine company, Terry Marine from Long Island, was accepted, and they have done a fine job, and they're a pleasure to work with. Our executive director from the Port Authority is here today, and he brings Viola Haynes with him. But if Ulysses, if you would please come up and say a couple words about what you do on the Port Authority and how you helped us.
Good. Thank you so much there. It's a great day. Great day for Norwich, great day for the Connecticut Port Authority and our ship program, but it's also a great day for Connecticut because our state legislators, and some of them are here today, they make sure that the Small Harbors Improvement Program is funded on a yearly basis. I want to thank especially Kathy Austin for her tenacity in this area, because she is someone who really takes the effort that we're trying to actually provide to our small harbors and our small communities. She really takes it to heart, and we appreciate all of the support that she gives us also, and gives me, quite frankly, because she's on the phone with me, and I get a great deal of good counsel from her as well, and I thank her for that as well. But I also want to indicate that this is just an example of what we're trying to do at the Connecticut Port Authority is one of our priorities, and one of our primary priorities, which is to assist. We have 35 communities that we support in terms of the infrastructure of these harbors. And these harbors are the primary economic drivers, if you will, of Connecticut. When it comes to tourism, when it comes to boating, when it comes to recreation, this is where it happens. And so what we see right here today is just a living example of what we're going to be doing all over the coastlines in Connecticut. And this doesn't just happen. It takes the tenacity, if you will, of a chair of a commission like Tucker to actually make sure that we all are on task and make sure that we provide what is necessary in order to make something like this happen. The Connecticut Port Authority provided 80% of the over $1 million for this project. So over $800,000 came from the Connecticut Port Authority in terms of our Small Harbors project. But again, it takes the commission, and I want to thank the commission, and also former members of the commission. I also got a chance to meet a former member of the commission here as well. But all the members of the commission and former members of the commission, would you raise your hands, please? And let's thank the commission, really. It takes a lot of vision and a lot of tenacity, really. And the mayor, I want to also thank the mayor for his patience. Yes, it's taken 5 to 6 years for this to happen, but it takes a lot of patience and perseverance for projects like this. This is going to be here for years and years to come. And I've been talking and walking with Braddock this morning, with Tucker this morning, and he put a few things in my ear about some future projects that are also coming down the pike. So if you know Tucker, you know he's always, in terms of the vision, he's looking ahead, and he's making sure that we all know what's coming. So we just announced round 4, starting March 1, we announced round 4 of the SHIP program and projects like this for our municipalities, and the deadline is July 1. So I understand there's probably a little something coming from Norwich as well by July 1. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Okay. We're going to finish what we started here, and I just want to thank everyone. But I have just a few other people I wanted to thank. And I wanted to thank also the Department of Army Corps of Engineers and the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection for the permitting that has also been provided for this project. I want to also thank the contractors, including Terry Contracting and Materials, as well as Race Coastal Engineering and DACO. Thank you so much for what you're doing to make things like this and projects like this come to fruition. But nothing like this happens without consulting, quite frankly. And we have one of the best consultants in Connecticut. His name is Jeff Stedman. I know he's around here somewhere, but Jeff Stedman is also the consultant on this project. There he is. Jeff, would you raise your hand, please? Yes, thank you, Jeff. Jeff assists a number of communities in Connecticut, but he's also in my office constantly advising me as well, and that is something that I treasure as well. So thank you so much, Jeff. But I also, joining me today is the person who actually looks over all of the funding and makes sure that we are spending Connecticut's funds appropriately. Her name is Fayola Haynes, and she is the finance director for the Connecticut Port Authority. Fayola, would you raise your hand, please? All right. But this day should be called H. Tucker Braddock Day. And I want to end my comments really by saying how much we really appreciate you as a treasurer in the state of Connecticut for all that you do, not only for Norwich, but all that you do for our region as well in the state of Connecticut. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
I heard you say you want to get this job done.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we want to finish the job.
We would like to present this to you, which is a aerial view of our harbor, and you can see the new docks that have been put in,
Yes.
and the beauty of the whole thing.
Oh, this is beautiful.
We must put this together.
We're going to finish it. Okay.
You all heard that. We're going to finish it. There's a lot of hard work by a lot of people here. A person that is who does a great deal for our community is Kathy Austin. Not only for the Norwich area, but southeastern Connecticut at large. There are any number of, I can't even count the ways that she has helped Norwich, and thank you for that, Kathy. And I'd like to have you say a few words, if you would, please.
Thank you. And I'm going to call Kevin Ryan, who works with me. So good morning, everybody. I know you're nice and warm. I appreciate you all coming out today in this exceptionally warm spring day. Of course, nobody works alone. I have 3 other state reps that help out so much, because you can't get anything done in the legislature by yourself. I'm very pleased to see this happen. When the first SHIP grant was put in, it was not quite enough money. We went back and got a little bit more money. And then they said, we're going to wait until we can get the money to do the last piece. And I said, absolutely not. We're going to get done what we can get done, because this is important for the city of Norwich. It's important because this is a main area of tourism in the city of Norwich, and it's an important component. When the Port Authority was first established in the General Assembly, it was established with a commitment by the state of Connecticut that the small harbors would not be left behind, that they would get funding every single year on a competitive basis of a $5 million grant. Now, quite frankly, the only way the state of Connecticut does the bonding that we need done is through what was talked about as tenacity. I say it's a commitment to Norwich by bulldogging it all the way through and following it through, because we cannot wait and sit on our laurels and think that people will do what they say they're going to do. If you're not watching them, if you're not pushing it forward, it doesn't happen. And that's what we do in the legislature for the city of Norwich. I am so excited to see this project. I've actually stopped down here 3 times and said, when are we doing a ribbon cutting down here? When are we doing a ribbon cutting down here? I want to see people come down and recognize the beauty of these docks, the absolute beauty. And I can tell you that Tucker never stopped calling me to make sure that I was actually doing this too. So I really want to thank all of you for coming down here today. It is important for us to see this through to the end. And the other commitment that you have from all of the state legislators who represent the city of Norwich is that we're going to complete the rest of the money that we are putting in for the waterfront project of $9.7 million. We are asking that to be on a bond, and we are not going to stop asking until we get that money into the city. Thank you, and I'm going to have Representative Ryan speak.
Thank you. It's great to be down here today to witness this great dedication. And I'm really glad to see that one person who really deserves a lot of recognition here today is getting it. So we know Tucker has worked hard on this in addition to the members of the commission for many, many years. They've built this beautiful recreational area that so many people enjoy. I don't think there's any time you don't come down here and see a number of people taking advantage of this location, taking advantage of Howard Brown Park, and now they can take advantage of these new docks. It's a great asset to the city of Norwich. You can only thank those efforts on behalf of the senator herself and Tucker, who have worked so hard to make this all happen. It is beautiful. It does look great, and it'll be here for a long time to come. So, congratulations.
Thank you. Even before this was completed, we always had a yellow ribbon up as just precautionary for the construction people that were here. And
Talk into the mic, Tucker.
oh, did it anyway? Before the ribbon was down, there were people gathering here most every morning, wanting to say, "Hey Tucker, when can we go fishing?" This is a very important estuary in our state, as it has 2 rivers feeding into it: the Yentik and the Shetucket, Quinnebog further up, and a lot of fishing people come from all over, even Massachusetts. And it's known for its striped bass. I'd like to thank Pat McLaughlin for his putting up with me, always giving calls. And I'd like to thank everyone who takes my call. And it's unfortunate. And I was thinking maybe I'll use someone else's phone. And before I forget, Mary Riley for putting this all together. Thank you. Mayor Nystrom, you have been a supporter right from the beginning. And I would appreciate if you had a couple of words to say that you've been a long time as the mayor of our community, and I'm sure that you're very proud of how it's coming together, and working with the Harbor Commission and NCDC. I think we can have a good impact on what this Thames River really means to a lot of people, but even more people. There are some people in our state who don't really know where Norwich is, and I think that this will help, particularly with this 80-foot graduated ramp that will help people who normally don't get to the water. It will help them get down to the water. And Bob Castanova, I think you've done a great job of guiding me out of trouble. So if I could invite Mayor Nystrom up to say a few words.
Thank you, Tucker.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. A couple of things come to mind. First thing is perseverance. Tucker certainly demonstrated that with all of his devotion and effort to this project and to our city itself. But I also like to extend that thanks to a number of council members. I want to acknowledge Alderwoman Sheila Hayes, Alderwoman Stacy Gould, and Alderman Mark Betancourt, and acknowledge some prior councils, because this project transcended a number of councils, and I believe the initial funding is represented by people like Mark and Stacy who are on those councils. You know, you can be told no, but that doesn't mean you have to accept it. And we do not accept no. Just like we count on our delegation who helps us with these funding opportunities. We believe in getting things completed. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than we had hoped, but we stay with it. And I think that's really important. That island across the water here, the marina itself, that's in our eyesight as well for expanded new development. Thank the state at this time for the $2 million we've received through the Community Investment Fund. But as our senator talked about the rest of that grant, we're going to go through and seek to gain that so that we can, in fact, rebuild this, unite it all, and make sure that the public has access throughout the area of the waterfront in Norwich. And I want to acknowledge Mrs. Dwyer, who's here in the background, our new operators of the marina. Without your commitment, your dedication, and your own private investment, and we stress that, public-private investment, that can't happen. So on behalf of this city, I want to publicly thank you and your husband right now at this very moment. But I look forward to the rest of the grant being awarded from the SHPO for over here so we can complete this. And I thank you all for joining us. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, okay. I guess in conclusion, I'd like to again thank you all for coming, but I would like to say one thing. The SHIP grant is very important to us as a city, but to other tributaries that feed into the Long Island Sound and even along the coast. And for other agencies to take over our position, I think would be a mistake. The harbor commissions are really speak for all the communities and all the work that has to be done here. They know what has to be done here because they live it every day. And I think that we should and could and should demonstrate to government that we need these SHIP grants as well as the Port Authority. The Port Authority is a very important entity of what we're doing, along with Bridgeport, New Haven, and New London, of course. And I'd like to, again, thank you very much. It was a little cooler than it was yesterday, but I see you all dressed a little accordingly. And thank you very much for coming down, and probably Kevin wants to usher you all up the hill. So we'll turn it all over to Kevin.
Thank you. Okay, so I was going to end this by talking about the future and the vision and the monies that we still want to get to keep this momentum going, but I felt it might be redundant, but then I learned that it's not redundant, it's tenacity. So let me talk to you about the fact that we're going to keep coming at the Connecticut Port Authority, we're going to keep coming at the Department of Economic and Community Development, because this is an important asset for this town and we're doing something about it. And, you know, and it's all been said, and I'll stop being redundant at this point. All of these partners in here who are picking up pieces and parts of putting this all back together and making it a place of pride and prominence. That's what we're trying to do. Thanks for coming out here. I got that part. That's why we're here. So, but before we move people to the ribbon, take the pictures, and execute the actual ribbon cutting, I just want to remind everybody, if you have the time, we're going to move 6-minute walk or 2-minute drive right up this road right here to the Reed and Hughes building, a historic 2 decades blighted building that's now underway. And we're going to do a groundbreaking of sorts up there for that right after this is done. Please meet at Angela's Greater Norwich Area Chamber of Commerce site, which is right next door. Warm up a little bit, mix and mingle and talk, and we'll get set up for that right after this event. So if I could get all the folks that are standing up here, certainly, and then we'll do an accountability and make sure we get all the other folks that might not be here right behind the ribbon to get ready to cut it. Please and thank you. Oh. All right, don't be shy. You all know who you are. Get behind the ribbon. Port Authority is represented.
Just practicing. JP.
Smile up, JP.
JP,
get in there, please.
Jeff.
Come on, JP.
Jeff. I got to help the table photo. Short people to the front, tall people to the back. Angela yell at us if you don't smile.
Smile. Even you, Kevin, you have to smile.
Okay.
Don't cut it until they
Wait, let's smile first for everybody in the.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Tucker, how about a smile?
Everybody looking up?
Gonna count it down?
1, 2, 3. Hey! All right. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay, thanks everybody for coming, and please feel free to walk the ramp, check out the docks. They're very steady. And, otherwise, we'll see you up the hill at about 10 o'clock. Here's the lap.
I was not here then. Not here then.